plural. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday! Which means our Fandom Favorites top 30 chart is coming out. Make sure you check that out today at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But first, we have DIMO REX at the bottom. Let's go ahead and see what this is all about. Let's get started. Ooh. Modified vocals with that little organ sound. So ooh, wow. The amount of editing?
And I know 전부 다 바꿔 on my way to find out. Lost in this frozen bliss. Time is always taking while you cry. Caught and twist, but adrift. Time is always taking while you cry.
Ooh, the way that just increased. Oh.
Still looking at the cliff. Keep it real. Shadows, 자극 please. My hurting days I wouldn't dare. 추억은 내게 반드시 살아가라 말한 뒤에 몸을 감췄지. 덕분에 깨어난 뒤 I feel different. I swear no mama gon' be right after this. Lost in this frozen bliss. Time is always taking while you cry. Caught and twist, but adrift. Time is always taking while you cry. Feel alive, died inside. Nothing to lose.
I love how thick this gets.
Staring eyes, cold and blind. 'Cause I'm already at the bottom.
Interesting. Okay, there was so much going on here that I feel like I definitely need to listen to this several times in order to like pick everything apart. But what I really loved about this particular song was texture. I feel that it was so good about creating really thick texture versus really thin texture. What I mean by texture is like everything that's going on within the song to create the specific sound, right? So I loved at the very beginning, it felt like a declaration, right? I thought that this was going to be to the chorus throughout, and it really wasn't. It really was like a true intro. Now, certain lines did get used throughout the rest of the song, but it was really stand out to me just the way that it was done with the modified voice, with everything going on, was really interesting. And then we have what I'm going to consider a transitional part. You know, we could talk about the form a lot, but for me, it was very transitional because it happened several different times as things were transitioning. I also think that you could consider it like partially the chorus because it did happen several times. And what that was is, in the first time that it happened was right after that intro, it went into like this instrumental feel where the editing was DIMO REX like in the middle, just filtering through lots of pictures, which was so interesting. The editing in this is crazy good. Like just the way everything was put together, you definitely had to think about that and take a lot of shots and do a lot of different things in order to accomplish that. But I think it worked really, really well. And then we have DIMO REX going into what I'm going to consider the verse, which something that I love that he does is putting filter over his voice. So we all know that DIMO REX can sing, right? We know that that's really good. But I love that he plays with different filters and textures within his voice and within, you know, producing as well to create a very specific sound. And that's why I felt like thickness versus thinness was so important in this particular song, because of the way that he was playing around with those different things. So it was really interesting. At one point after that, though, we get this harmonization that's going on in there. It's really thick with this low bass sound. And this is where I thought it was going to go back into that kind of introduction, but it didn't. It was something, it went into something completely different. And with that fast transition kind of feeling. But it had like so much thickness and like instrumentation and everything just coming in at once and just really made everything sound full. And then again, we go into that kind of fast, kind of transitional feeling. And then we have another verse that was, I want to say it was similar to the first verse, but not so much in the fact that it wasn't as long. There wasn't as much to it before going into the next part, which it feels like it's like a pre-chorus, the I'm already at the bottom part, but that also kind of feels like the chorus. That's why I think I need to listen to this a couple more times, because the form was really eluding me because there was so much that was going on. And this is what I really love about music, is when music, you know, has so many different facets, right? There's music that you think really hard to, right? And this, like, I could enjoy it in a lot of different ways. Like, I could really, like, you know, try to figure out the form and nail all that down. I could go through the lyrics. I could do XYZ with figuring out what is happening with the texture and that kind of thing. And then you can also just sit there and just listen to it and enjoy it. And that's one of the reasons that I love how multifaceted music is. And I think that's why, you know, we all have our own personal preferences for things we like or we dislike, because we like to, for me, like, I like to try to figure things out. Like, what was the artist thinking? I like to do this, but sometimes you just want to listen and enjoy it too. So I really found this intriguing. I wish that the lyrics were matching up better for me, because I felt like I missed a lot of what was happening. So I definitely would go back and reread those for sure. I'm not going to do so today, but I think that was definitely something that I missed, and I want to go back through and analyze, because I wrote a couple. The one that kept like standing out to me is Lost in the Frozen Bush. I'm not sure it was bush, but that's what it sounded like to me. And that stood out to me. It happened several different times. And then also the I'm already at the bottom, talking a lot about, you know, for me, it felt like a very, I'm at the bottom of this. I feel like this is like pushing me down, like, and all that kind of thing. That's how it felt to me. And I just, like I said, I wish the lyrics would have matched up, you know, with the, you know, the captions and everything. So I'm going to go, you know, because I always go back and listen to songs several times. I'm definitely going to have to like dig into the lyrics, because I think those are extremely important here. But like I said, for me, the thickness and the texture of this particular song going back and forth was just so interesting and intriguing to listen to. And I'm curious what you guys thought about this particular song. What grabbed your attention within this? Was it that thickness and that texture? Was it the editing? Was it the lyrics. What did you feel like you identified with in this song? And tell me those thoughts down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Say you want me, and I